Each week we get 7 days to live our lives. And a lot of us work 5 days and then we take 2 days to relax, enjoy our hobbies, and spend time with the ones we love. This begs the question though, why don't we have more days for relaxation and fewer days for work? It feels lopsided, right? Well, the answer usually comes back to money. Most people can't afford to work fewer days each week. It's a luxury that is not available to the vast majority of people. Some people we've interviewed on this channel have reached a level of family wealth called coast fire, and they do have the option to work fewer days if they choose to. As we've discussed in the past, coast fire is when you've invested enough in retirement accounts that you're able to simply coast to retirement without any further contributions. When you are debt-free, you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months, and you are coast fire, you have financial strength and you have financial options. In this video, I'm gonna make my case for the coast fire 3-day work week and share some ideas to help you craft yours. Hey everyone, this is Andy Hill for Marriage, Kids, and Money, a channel dedicated to helping you strengthen your family tree and live financially free. If you like what you hear today, please consider giving me the YouTube triple thanks. That's hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and then commenting down below maybe something about your coast fire journey and how that's going. Thanks so much. Here is my case for the coast fire 3-day work week. I want to encourage people who are in a position of financial strength and security to consider a 3-day work week instead of a 5-day work week. As our previous guest Simone Stolzoff stated so well, you exist on this planet to do more than just create economic value. I love that statement. You're not just a worker. You may also be a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a son, a daughter, a community leader, a volunteer, a teacher, a friend, an athlete, a musician, a writer, a singer, and so much more. When we work the majority of our days and do these other roles just 2 of the days, we are limiting our life potential. I've heard too many stories of people at the end of their lives talking about working too much being their biggest regret. And of course, for those not quite yet in this privileged position of wealth and time freedom, I want to encourage you as well to pursue a debt-free coast fire life so that you have the option to work fewer hours each week in the near future. Now, it's not going to be easy. You'll have to budget, you'll have to spend less than you earn, you'll have to save and invest more than you ever have in the past, but I believe it is worth it. Let's discuss some coast fire 3-day work week ideas for folks who are coast fire or are interested in a coast fire lifestyle. I want to share these 4 ideas to help you create your own 3-day work week. Now, while everyone's situation is different, these ideas may trigger some thoughts that could make future you quite happy. Number 1, ask for a part-time schedule where you currently work. If you've been determined, focused, and successful enough to achieve debt freedom and coast fire, there's a good chance you're a great employee. Before you up and quit your job in a financial independence blaze of glory, use the rapport you've built up with your supervisor to have a candid chat about going part-time instead. Of course, this assumes you enjoy what you do and you'd prefer to and can afford to do less of it. Be prepared to discuss a decrease in your salary, as that may be a requirement as a fair exchange for fewer hours worked each week. When I interviewed Angela Rosman from Tread Lightly, Retire Early, she shared that her employer was surprisingly open to the idea of her working fewer hours.
I think it was more the just talking about like what I wanted and like what I was hoping to do. I think there are more employers that might be open to that sort of thing if you can talk them through like, well, I can do all of these things at this amount of time. I just would have to give up X, Y, and Z. Yeah. But I'm also willing to give up this significant chunk of my income to do it.
Sure.
But as long as I could keep my core stuff, then we found ways to kind of shift it around. And as I've worked less for 3.5 years now, I'm finding more and more people that have different schedules and hours than you would think. Like, a lot of people don't realize that I work with that I don't work full time because I'm in the office 5 days a week and I'm there when they see me, so they don't really notice, especially people that don't work in my office. They can't tell I'm not working full time. Right. But then as you get into conversations with people, even with like city staff, like government employees, private employees, like across the board, if you start paying attention and talking to people, like more and more, there are more flexible working agreements. And I think it's just not talked about, and the expectation is that everybody works full time, but a lot of people don't.
Number 2, seek part-time work at another company with your skill set. Perhaps you're burnt out at your current company, but you don't want to waste the skills and the network that you've built. Well, it might be time to look for a new job in your industry, or at least with your skill set. Use your current network and start having some conversations with people about opportunities for part-time work. Although there may not be job listings officially set for part-time work, conversations and negotiations are always possible. While this is probably an easier sell at your current company because they know your work ethic, you may find employers looking to hire part-time to save on costs. My wife Nicole recently was hired as a part-time employee at a dermatologist office. She was seeking part-time work and they were hiring for it. The arrangement required conversation and negotiation, but man, these opportunities, they're out there. Now she has her very own Coastfire 3-day work week. In a recent podcast chat, Nicole shared the part-time work benefits that she's found.
I'm not sure I would be able to do all this on a Saturday. We'd be running to soccer or a birthday party for the kids, or, grocery, trying to squeeze in the grocery shopping and laundry. And so it's really nice. Like, as I start to think about life being more about the journey and not the destination, it's really nice to have the day-to-day be a little more chill.
Number 3, become a part-time contract worker or freelancer with your skill set. This idea steps you away from the employee side of things and more towards the self-employment side of things. While leaving an employment situation and moving toward an entrepreneurial life is quite challenging, the rewards of lifestyle design can be worth it. Essentially, you would be in charge of finding clients, making sure those clients paid you, and managing your own work schedule. This autonomy can be freeing and liberating for some, and terrifying and scary for others. Since going down this path personally, I've realized the disadvantages of entrepreneurship. It requires a lot of discipline and systems that I just wasn't used to as an employee. Over time, I found a good path, and I'm very happy with my decision to leave my full-time employment for part-time entrepreneurship. While I'm yet to earn a salary comparable to what I used to earn at my previous corporate job, I'm still very happy because I've gained a lot of my time back. Eric Rosenberg, a freelance writer who earns well over $10,000 per month, shared how his time flexibility as a freelancer helps him to be a more present dad.
Because I was salaried, right? I wasn't hourly. So if I had finished everything big on my to-do list and I knew the next day was going to start the new month and was going to be closed and I'd be having 10, 12-hour days for the next 2 or 3 days, I couldn't take 3 hours, 4 hours early and cut out early for the day. No, I still had to be there. But now if I finish a big project and I feel like I've earned taking my daughter for ice cream at 3 p.m, I can do that.
Number 4, start a small business based on your ikigai. If your Coastfire 3-day work week is gonna come from starting a small business, know that it requires a bit more patience since around half of US businesses fail within the first 5 years. Let's say you've had enough of working as an employee and you've had enough of working in your industry too. You could start your own business based on a passion or an interest that you have. You'll want to ensure that your passion or interest can actually make money though, I like looking at it through the lens of the Japanese term ikigai, or your purpose for being. According to positivepsychology.com, this is the intersection point of the following. You love it, the world needs it, you are paid for it, and you are great at it. If I had to think of someone that I've spoken to over the past 7 years who exemplifies this ikigai well, it would be Chad Carson. He built a real estate business and the systems to go along with it that allowed him to drastically increase his time freedom.
It's not overnight. It was a process, and it's a combination of, number one, people. I have a really good I have a really good person back home and she started off as a bookkeeper. She grew into the role of sort of an administrator, property manager. And so for 60 of those properties, she's the go-to person. And I still am involved in that. I still underwrite, like when we have a tenant, she does all the work of getting all the applications and all the information. I make the ultimate decision, but I can do that through technology, computers, everything back in Ecuador. And I can in Ecuador, I still do that through online bill pay and through technology and really cool software. So combination of a really good people on the ground, that person, also some contractors who are make a good part of our team, and then technology allow you to do, I typically spent, some weeks were more, some weeks were less, but about an hour or two per week. Usually on Thursdays, I would do my bill paying and kind of bookkeeping. But the rest of the week, it was I might get a text here and there, just kind of asking a question. But it really, when you get some people and some systems in place, you can be a relatively passive business. And that's fortunately where we got at that point for us.
In the end, I see this Coastfire 3-day workweek discussion as a pathway to a more intentional life. Not a life where you only feel accomplished when you've piled millions upon millions of dollars. Because honestly, that type of life doesn't really ever have a destination or a stopping point. You can always make more money, you can always save more money, and you can always invest more money. The path is truly never ending. Coastfire allows you to find an investing goal that fits your family's needs and a lot of your wants too. And then it encourages you to go back to enjoying life, because life is for living. If you're wondering where you are on your path to Coastfire, we've developed a Coastfire calculator for you to check out for free. Scan this QR code to access it, or go to this website, or click the link in our video description to check out this free calculator. We like to give you lots of options. We hope you enjoy the calculator, and we hope it helps you on your path to Coastfire. Well, enough from our side, everyone. We want to hear from you. What do you think of creating your Coastfire 3-day work week and a permanent 4-day weekend? Are you considering Coastfire as a path for your family? Please let us know in the comments below. This is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, signing off. Carpe diem.